Mindset or leaders' mental eyes. They dictate what information they have to take and use it wisely and to navigate the situation they encounter. The effective response to the challenging situation is purely rely on the mindset of a leader. So mindset is everything. Either it makes you or break you. Vanakkam, welcome to Dr. Jico podcast, season 3, Leadership Tricks. I am your host, Dr. Raji Arabi. This episode, we are having a beautiful guest, mindset coach, who is going to talk more about mindsets. She is passionate about helping people to see the best in themselves and others. Her mission is to inspire you to be more than you thought you could be. She believes that there is always a road that takes you to your dreams. A mentor, a facilitator, a speaker from Australia is Vandana Mothure. Welcome, Vandana. And please,
Thank you so much.
please tell a few words about yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Dr. Raji. And a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for attending our podcast and hearing to our podcast today. I am Vandana Mohature, as Dr. Raji has already mentioned. I am a leadership and a mindset coach and a human behavior strategist. I've been a computer science engineer by my graduation, and having worked in the IT industry, the high intensity environments of the software industry across India, US, and Australia, what I came to realize was that the one gift that truly helps you achieve your best and helps you to live in harmony with yourself and all the people around you is a healthy mindset. And it is this realization that helped me pursue my passion in understanding more about human behavior and how our mindset drives us, that started me on this journey, very fulfilling journey of coaching. So now, right now, I am a founder of Mind Art Coaching and Consulting, and I've been working with beautiful clients all across the globe. So thank you so much. That's all about me.
That's great to hear. You have transformed yourself from an engineer to a coach. It's definitely a fantastic journey. And
Thank you.
now the session. So, what is mindset to you, especially in leadership, and why it is important? Mindset is important in leadership development.
Thank you for that amazing question, Dr. Raji. Mindset, I believe, is our like the primary driving force. What we create in our outside world depends upon what really do we think about ourselves. Now, if we have a healthy self-esteem, if we you know think about us, if we believe in our own abilities, and if we trust in ourselves in creating the kind of world that we want to create for ourselves, we as well, we will definitely create that. But what happens mostly is that we are surrounded by doubts, we are surrounded by limited beliefs, and it's not something that we instilled in it ourselves. It depends on our conditioning, over years, what we have seen, what we have observed around us, what is the language that people around us have used, and what has worked for us, what didn't work for us. All of those things together help us in creating our mindset. And if we don't take a conscious effort of paying attention to what it is, the world will keep leading the way for us. Now, if we want to lead the way for ourselves, and if we want to achieve the goals that we say we want to, we must take a conscious effort in changing our mindset. So I believe that mindset is like this, like the epicenter of it all. We need to become aware of who we are and how we define ourselves to create what we want. Now, to the second part of your question, which you said, how is it important in leadership? It is absolutely important in leadership, especially in the times today when there's just so many, like so much of uncertainty. Everything's like ever changing. Every day we have news about something new happening, or what we used to see in science fiction movies. It's come to reality. There's so many unprecedented challenges that are coming facing forward now. In such a situation, if we are not able to adapt as leaders, if we are not able to lead ourselves through it, how will we lead our teams? So especially when we want to pursue leadership. And I feel it's not just about leadership in organization, it's also about leadership in our personal life. First thing is to know ourselves. If we know how we can walk through something, we can then inspire others to walk through it. If we understand our relationship with ourselves, we are better able to understand our relationship with others, because we are able to empathize better. If we understand, and I've seen from your work, Dr. Raji, as well, that you've talked so much about emotions and resiliency, right? So if we understand how we manage our own emotions, we are able to understand how someone might be feeling, what they're going through, and we'll be able to empathize better and support them better. So for leaders today, it's most important to be authentic. As in your previous podcast, you've spoken about authentic leadership. So to be able to be, to be authentic, to be who you truly are, to drive yourself, and then to drive the teams around you. Because it's very important to have that vision, to have a mission, to believe in your purpose, and that will only come from walking the path of self-awareness and self-discovery. And then knowing the values of the organization that you're working for, uh, or the business that you've created, knowing the true values of what is it that you intend to do with this. How are you trying to change the value of, the lives of those around you? How are you trying to serve others? When you clearly define all of those answers, you're able to, walk on that path of clarity. You can bring in all that you need, and if you don't have it in you, you can seek help, you can reach out to people. And your ego doesn't get in the way, because you know that your focus is on learning and growth and development. Your focus is on contribution. It's not in, you're not surrounded by the guilt or the self-doubt or the lack of confidence. When you have a clear purpose, everything that you do is moving you forward. Even if there are failures, that's feedback. It's making you, helping you move forward in the direction of meeting your purpose. So it's very important to have a clear growth, healthy growth mindset, especially in the changing times today, to become the true authentic leader that you are.
Mhm. Yes, that's great. Yeah, started. Yeah, it's just started very beautifully. Starting from the self-awareness and how you see the world. Definitely, if we need to first fill our cup so that we can able to contribute to the others.
What a
Yes.
beautiful point you brought up, Dr. Raji. Yes, we must first fill up our cup. If a lot of times leaders, especially, they become like these huge givers. There's giving, giving, giving. There's more doing for everyone else. Now, while it's a good thing to be able to serve others and help others, but if you're not taking care of yourself, how in the world are you going to able to support them and sustain
Yes.
yourself and your team and your family?
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you crumble down, everything else crumbles down. So you have to first take care of you, and then take care of others.
Yes, absolutely. So that you can able to inspire people. People should follow your good things. So that's then you need to be a healthier part in mindset also. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you just presented is a healthy mindset. It's how you look at you, how you look at how comfortable are you in being yourself. It's okay to fall. It's okay to go through failures. It's okay to have negative experiences, but how you grow from them and how you look at yourself when you go through them is what defines you. Because ultimately everything is, we use words, but words will only mean as much as the meaning that we assign to them.
Yes.
We always form all of these stories in our mind. We give a meaning to everything. No matter what you say right now, no matter what I am saying right now, our viewers or audience who is listening to this is going to understand it from their own perspective. So it's actually focusing on this perspective and understanding how we can create a perspective that helps us better, that serves us better, that makes us better, is working on our mindset.
It's great. Okay, so being a coach, definitely we can give tips to develop this kind of mindsets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I believe that, as we were discussing before our session, that we need to be focusing on learning. We must believe that life is it's an ever learning journey. We keep learning from what we read, what we hear, what we experience from the experiences of people around us. And all of this contributes into developing our mindset. What we focus on is what we get. So now when it comes to developing the tips or on a healthy or a leadership mindset, I believe the first thing is to really understand, like sit in peace and understand where your mind is wandering. I believe that's the first step. When you are focusing on something, you're trying to achieve, then your all your thought and attention is towards that thing. But when you're not focusing on anything and when you're just sitting idle, notice where is your mind wandering. And when it's wandering, is it going towards something good or bad? And what I mean by good and bad is, I believe that there's nothing good and bad. It's just, things just happen. But is it serving you? Anything that serves you is good. Anything that's not serving you is supposed to be let go of, right? So once you start focusing on where is your mind wandering, is this thing helping you? What are you thinking about others around you? How is your self-talk? Are you bashing? If you don't get, things don't go your way, if you don't get what you want, are you too harsh on yourself? Are you treating yourself the way you would treat others? How are you treating others? Just start noticing on where your mind is wandering. And once you notice, you can then change it. Awareness is the first step. Always with awareness, then comes acceptance. And once you accept, then you can act. So become aware, then accept what's going on. There's no judgment required here. There's nothing to judge. Oh, why am I doing this? I'm a bad person. If I'm thinking this way, I'm a bad person. Don't judge. It's okay. Once you now become aware and you accept it's okay, then you can change it to whatever you want it to be. So the first place that we start is to becoming aware. Now, the second step is when I said, becoming aware of what is going on with you. Now, to create a change, there's always a need of a strong sense of purpose. So second step, I would say second tip is to know your why. Why is so important? Why do you want to create this change? Why do you want to achieve XYZ? Whatever your goal is. What is your big why? Because so often you must have also noticed, Dr. Raji, that we start on something. We want to, maybe reduce our weight. We want to include healthy habits, but we start on something and we lose it midway. What happens is we go on back to our old patterns, or we don't really have a very strong sense of why. Why is this important to me? How is it important, important to my health, to my family? So defining our why actually gives us a clear path. If we don't know where we are going, our mind gets really confused and it stays where it is. But if we can give it a clear direction, like this is what you need to do, this is why you need to do it, there is a high chance that you'll actually follow through and complete it, because you have a strong sense of purpose and you have a clear direction of where you're going. So that's our second one, which is defining your why. Now, the third tip that I'd like to give is, questioning your beliefs. So when we define a goal or an objective, it's very important to understand and question ourselves. Do I believe that I can do this? When I work with my clients, often when I ask them this question, they say that they don't believe it. They don't think they can do it. Now, if you're starting from this point that you cannot do it, you're training your mind to really not do it. So it's very important for us to start believing. And if we don't believe, then more work needs to be done on why is it that we're not believing? What is it going inside of us that stops us from believing it? Because defining a goal is one aspect, then acting on it is another, and then believing that it's going to work out is another, because that's what's going to keep you on the path. So we have to understand what's going on, what are the beliefs, what are the things that we'll have to let go of, and what are the new things that we'll have to include in. Because if you don't, if I'm looking at you as my mentor, or if I'm looking at you as someone as a role model, then I need to understand what were your beliefs. What were your beliefs about you when you were, you might have also gone through failures, but what made you go through, what made you stick to doing the things every day and making it happen for you. There had to be really strong foundation and a belief system. So we need to question our own beliefs. And if they're good, by all means, keep them. If they're serving you, by all means, keep them. But if they're not serving you, then work on letting things go, or work with someone who can help you to let things go and create new empowering beliefs. So that's the number 3 point, that you need to question your beliefs. Then the fourth one is to know that you have a choice. Believe in the power of choice. Whatever we do, Dr. Raji, whatever we do is a choice. If I'm sitting here today, it is a choice. If you are, we are in this conversation, it is your choice too. So if whoever is listening to us it's their choice. We have a right to choice. So whenever we are facing a difficult situation as a leader in our personal or professional life, we need to become aware that we have a choice to choose. It's up to us. So I can choose the mindset that I want. Do I want to focus on disappointment, or do I want to focus on learning? Do I want to focus on failure, or do I want to focus on the feedback? Do I want to focus on what I couldn't have, or do I want to focus on what I've learned and what can I gain from here? So it's something that we can choose. Now, as easy as it may sound, first, to be able to make that choice, we need to first come in terms with what has happened. So, at times things happen because of our behavior, but at times things happen which are out of our control, like this pandemic. Now, if it has happened, our first place is to really accept what has happened. Okay, this is what the fact is. Now, what can I do from here? What can I do from here can only come when we have made peace with what has happened. If we are in an emotional upheaval, if we are not stable ourselves, and if we don't cater to all of our emotions, we won't be able to take that courageous decision of moving forward. And even if we do take that decision, our emotions will pull us back. So it's very important to resolve whatever is happening for you in the current state, and then move forward on creating your future. So it's very important to have that empowering mindset, that you have a choice and you can always take that path. And the fifth most important part of having a really healthy mindset is to feel and express gratitude. I believe that gratitude is something that we always have and that we can always give. No matter what has happened, no matter what has happened in the past, you can always feel grateful for what to be able to be alive and to be here at this very point. The fact that you're here, you can create whatever you want. So being grateful for all that you've had, being grateful for all the learnings, being grateful for all the opportunities, being grateful for all the failures, even for all good and bad and tough situations in your life, and then feeling them and expressing them to the set people, to relevant people. That just, I always say that gratitude is contagious. Once you express it to someone, you teach them to express it to someone else, and the chain continues. So expressing gratitude just gives you even more and more occasions to be more and more opportunities to be grateful for. So that and when you express gratitude, your body takes it as a sign that it's something that you like, because of the hormones that you release. It basically emphasizes that you like this thing. And when you like something, you keep it. So once you have this mindset, you keep practicing it, you will basically, it will become your second nature, because you will want to keep it. So those are my 5 tips on developing a leadership mindset.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really, it's fantastic. And I love the explanation of the bad. I really love it. See, this is your mindset, how you see a bad. This is beautiful. Yeah, everyone should adapt that. See, of course, I used to believe, so something is bad to me, it's bad to me only. It's not a bad thing, 100% bad thing. It depends upon the situation and the environment, it varies. I love the way you have expressed. And of course, the last point, I personally believe that practicing gratitude is a key to the mental and emotional health. That's great, fantastic tips. Then how these coaches like you help to help the people's mindset? How coaches have, what is the point of helping people to have a mindset? So how these coaches help?
Sure. Thank you for that very informative question. Actually, what I've realized, Dr. Raji, is that a lot of people are not exposed to coaching. So they don't really know how a coach can help. Now, with your question, thank you for the opportunity for me to explain how coaching can really help someone. I've most of the clients who approached me in the beginning of my coaching journey, they would say that we just, we don't know. I have this inner whisper. I have this knowing that I can become this person, but I don't know how to do that. Or some people will say that, um, I'm happy with my job, but I'm really not happy with my life. I don't know why. So this I don't know is the biggest hint where coaching, when you cannot find your own answers, that's a place where a coach can help you. And it's important to know that not necessarily we don't necessarily need to know all the answers, and if we don't know right now doesn't mean we'll never know them. Know that there are people you can talk to, your mentors, you can talk to elders, you can talk to people, and if you don't have anyone else, you can always approach a professional coach to figure out what is it that's stopping you. Because usually what happens is our conditioning, as we were talking in the initial part of the section, that it's our conditioning, what we've seen through where we were born, how the people around us were thinking, how they were talking to us. We pick on their language, we pick on their words, and they become our beliefs. So as kids, as this all stems from childhood, and as kids we don't really know what's happening around us. We just know that we want to survive, and we want to make people around us happy, and if we want to make happy, we do everything that makes them happy. So that is how our behavior is being formed in the beginning. Now when we grow as adults, um, though we have the choice of changing things, not many people question it, and we keep following the old patterns, and they don't necessarily serve us. So we get caught in what we call a tribal cycle. We get caught in the cycle of our family patterns. And when we are faced with situations where we don't know the answer, or we are feeling like this restlessness and anxiety within us, that I'm not able to break a barrier, that's where a coach can help. Now, to explain a little better, I'd like to give you an example of one of my clients. Now, she had taken a break after her little one was born, and she took a break for about 2 years. And after that, she was trying to get back to work. And she said she was looking for 6 months, and she said, "No, I've applied to like hundreds of jobs, and I usually don't get calls, and even if I get calls, I'm not able to convert them. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I've been working so hard. I've been preparing, but I'm just not getting the job." And when we worked through, what was holding back, I'll not get into the details of, but when we worked through to summarize it, what happened was she never really wanted a full-time job. What she wanted in her life was a work-life balance. She wanted to contribute. She wanted to, justify the education that she's had, and she wanted to work. She wanted to be independent, but she didn't want to go back fully. Yet, what she was applying for was a full-time job every time, and then she would not get it because actually she didn't want it. So no wonder she did not get it, but she was not able to see it clearly. And when we, through our coaching sessions, when we arrived at what she really wanted from life was, be there for her family and her little one, and also there for herself. Then she realized that what is it that she must do, and then she started looking for part-time jobs, and now she's like doing amazingly well in her career. She figured what she wanted. She has a work-life balance, and she's growing in that. So it's, as we're talking, it's the mindset. Once you know what you want really, everything in you will make it happen. But you need to see it first, and I always say that what you can see you can be. So give yourself the eyes, allow yourself to see, and make it happen.
So, as you say, there is always a road to reach your dreams, right?
Yes, there is always a
and you are having a knack to explore their mindset. It's great.
Yes.
Thanks
So
for
coaching,
sharing this. Yeah.
thank you, Dr. Raji. So coaching is it's an act. Definitely, it's about understanding human behavior and inducing positive psychology. But primarily, it is about asking powerful questions.
Yes.
questions that you're not going to ask yourself, questions that probably you are avoiding or running away from or not paying attention to at all. A coach's job primarily is to provide you a safe space where they can ask you those questions and help you answer those questions to yourself.
Thank you so much. You are giving huge points to tell about the need of coaching. It is definitely benefit for the people who are doing coaching as a business. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah, you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And shall we finish the session?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to tell anything as specific to the audience who are hearing, or as specific to me? See, the first thing I want to address here is regarding mindset. You have narrated the beautiful explanations. The word beautiful is not simply limited to the beautiful alone. It is having the deepest meaning. You just explore yourself. It shows outwards. And definitely, it's nothing, what to say. Obviously, definitely your clients get benefited. Your approach in coaching is, the simple thing I have learned from this is the question, the questions you are asking to the person is very, very important. That's the point the person will think about, and they know about their mindsets. Thank you so much, Vandana, for giving your valuable insights in this podcast. And personally, I too learned a lot from this podcast.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Raji. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this conversation and to share what I've learned through my own experience and through the education that I'm going through now and through my clients. I always say that from every person we meet, there's so much that we learn, only if we are willing to learn.
Yes.
So life just keeps giving us so many lessons if we are willing to learn. And my last message to our audience is that, allow yourself to see. Allow yourself to see. Do not bring in any judgments and just see what's possible for you. And when you can see, you can make it happen.
Yes.
So
that's a powerful message. That's a powerful message.
Thank you so much. So do not be afraid. Go for it. Seek help. Reach out. Express yourself. And yeah, make it happen for you.
Yes, definitely it will happen if you're following this
it
guidelines.
Will. Oh yes, we are cheering for you.
Thank you so much, Vandana, for being a guest in this podcast.
Sure.